our people as a whole. Okay? So,
How often are you here?
I'm here as much as I can get out here. I work a full-time job. I wish I can just be. But let me give you this real quick, brother. So it says, they that carried us away captive. Captive means what? Slavery, bondage. So check this out. So all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, right? Then it says, let's go to 46. It says, and they shall be up on thee for a sign. So let's start right here. Moreover, all these curses shall come up on thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou beest destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee. And they shall be upon thee, what? The curses shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Our people.
Right? It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. I don't have a picture with us having a yoke of iron, but you've seen them so many times. Not only change, they put these big massive yokes on us when just to make our lives a little bit more miserable. If we like did something
I'm on probation right now, to be honest.
You see? You see what I'm saying?
That's what
and then you know the devil oppresses me all the same, brother. All the same, the devil oppresses me. So what we're supposed to be doing these days is turning from our wicked ways. So here's another curse that's gonna mess you up right here. Check this out. I bet you ain't know this was even in the scripture. It says, let's go right here first to 64. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So stone, what do we do in the Muslim faith? We walk around the what do you call that stone? The Kaaba stone? What do you call that thing?
Not exactly sure. See, that's where I'm.
Yeah, it's all good. It's another religion anyway, so it's not nothing that you're supposed to regard anyway, but to say that it's an evil, wicked thing. So we worship in Muslim, the Muslim faith, not we, but our people, okay? When they become Muslims, what do Muslims do? They walk around that stone in, what is the place called? Mecca, you know? And they walk around that stone. I don't know if it's Mecca or not.
I'm gonna do my research. I'm listening though.
You gotta check that out, but that's what is wood and stone. That's the cross. Okay, Christianity. Lord ain't set up Christianity. Lord ain't for every nation. He's only for one nation. He's always been for one nation. Even Christ said what? He said, I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So check this out. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. Don't we work day in, day out? It don't matter what you do, you can never get a butt. You ain't gonna do nothing but retire. And we think that's good. We think that's a good thing. Your body all beat to nothing, and then your kids don't even honor you as nothing. It's like, oh, out with the old, in with the new. That's how this system works. This system is all about death. Go ahead.
How do you get by on? I'm wording that wrong.
Okay.
As far as iron sharpens iron goes, is this how you do it, or do you set up days? Do you have Bible study? I'm asking this because not a lot of people do this anymore.
Not a lot of people do be on
period. Yeah.
Well, you got some brothers. You find it on YouTube and stuff like that.
But even in California, they're trying to get rid of Bible's free speech and technically get rid of the word of God.
That's right. You know what?
This is real. Like in California right now, you can do your research and look it up on Google or whatever. It's all on their news.
And who does it all come from? So-called white man. His kids. Let me show you something. It says, let's see. It says in Isaiah chapter 29, verse 20, for the terrible one is brought to naught. This is what's going to happen when the Most High destroys this wicked nation. It says the terrible one is brought to naught. When you look on TV and you see not TV, you look on your on Facebook and anything like that, you see black men get shot down in the streets. Is that a terrible thing?
Of course.
But nobody does what? Nobody gives justice. Nobody cares for justice and peace. So it says the terrible one is brought to naught. That's what's going to happen when the Lord returns. And the scorner is consumed. And all that watch for iniquity are cut off. So-called cops watching. every move that you do. They pull you over. You don't even have a record, and you scared. Why? Because you know that the cops hate the so-called black man. They hate not the African man, but the so-called black man. See, Africans are different from Israel. You know what I mean? The Lord said a difference with the so-called black man, the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native American, the Aboriginal, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, those are Israelites as well because the same type of things happen to them. So, but it ain't happen to the African man. African man actually has a seat in the UN. When they gather up and they have those big meetings on TV and stuff on the news, and you see an African man speaking, right? That's not our people. They have a seat. We don't reign anywhere. Where when we gonna go back to the land of black? There is no land of black. Okay? Because our enemies have done what? They cut us off from being a nation. So it says, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man offender for a word, and lay snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So we the ones who sit up here and speak for true justice, true righteousness. They did that to what? Malcolm X. Even though these brothers wasn't a part of this truth, they did that to brothers that understand clearly who the devil was. And what they do? Killed him. All right? Put him in prison. Okay? They made their word disannulled to our people. To the people who needed to hear. They made us already brush off the people that brought up righteousness and justice. Okay, that's what the terrible one has done, and the scorner has done. Okay, but the Lord said He's going to consume them. But these are the people who make a man offender for word. When you speak out and say the truth, they already actually know who the right. Of
course, they know.
They know
what's going on.
Have you ever heard of them saying, "Let's stop the Black Messiah from rising"? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Look that up too, brother.
You know, I have heard something similar. When you bring too many black people together,
yeah, they
it's
think
a dangerous thing.
Oh, well, okay.
The leader of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, that's what he said.
Okay, yeah, and because that's a contention, that's a lie, and a contention. He raised up those possibilities so people can say, yep. And that's why the scripture says what? Many have been killed by the sword, but not as many has been killed by the tongue. You know what I mean? So those proverbs and those bywords, a proverb is like a wise saying. Those wise sayings that's surrounding the so-called black man, like they say, so-called black, he gonna try to steal. So what they do? They get $100,000 worth of security in their stores. They move major mountains just because of the possibilities of the of what a black man is going to do. You know, and that's why they kill us in the street. That's right. That's why they kill us in the street, and nobody cries out, "Hey, that's wrong. That's wrong." You know, and nobody's brought, these cops not brought to justice, right? Because everybody feels what? The jurors have the last say. And what are the people saying? Nah, we gonna let him off. You know, the black man, he must have been doing something. That nigga must have been doing that. That's what they always think. Yeah. Even when it's brothers that's not a part of, this system. Okay, the evil that you do see our people do. Even when it's brothers that's not a part of that. Brothers get caught up in things like that. Dude that was trying to get into his apartment, in his high-rise building. What happened? Dude got money.
He didn't belong.
Yeah, dude got money. He got everything he need. But there you go. All right. So that's what's happening to him.
I'm gonna go over here and kick it with my nephew, my niece. All
right, brother. Let me give you this one last thing, then, bro. So to let you know that this is to Israel. So it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into, this is the last curse, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, which means bondage, again with ships. See, we walked out on dry land with Moses. So how would they turn around and have to be put back into Egypt on a ship? Israel is right atop of Africa. So how in the world, you know what I mean? How in the world are they going to have to be on a ship to come back into Egypt? You know what I mean? So he was saying Egypt is synonymous for bondage, and I can get that for you as well. It says, again, with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. So the same way I'm telling you is the same way you're going to go into bondage on ships. And what happened to our people? Nobody can deny that. Nobody. No other nation has came into Egypt like this.
I feel like that right there isn't all the way factual.
So
to bring all of our people
so let me tell you something.
Africa.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know how long that
So how did we get here?
We were already here.
Exactly. So what am I saying to you? The Indians, Those were our people.
Aboriginals.
Woolly haired people, as well as straight haired people, because they were in captivity in
You can go
Assyria.
anywhere. You can go anywhere on this world and find our people.
Guess what? Not only that, when we were in slavery among the Egyptians, guess what? We knew how to get here. How you think that they had not tobacco, but the pharaohs, they had a specific substance, a drug in there they were buried with a specific drug because they were getting it from here. The slaves that knew that knew the oceans, that knew how to get over here. Okay, there were slaves that knew how to get here already. So that's why when you see the reports of there's being woolly haired black men here, okay, a lot of them was put into slavery. A lot of it, that's why you get the $5 Indian thing from. Okay, a lot of people a lot of the Indians were put in slavery. They look just like you or me. A lot of us could be Gad. This says, let's see, where's Gad at?
Native American Indians.
Yeah. So yeah, right here, Native American Indian, Gad. A lot of us are Gad. We think that we're Judah, American blacks, right? But a lot of us could have already been here, Native Americans. Because you know what? A lot of the Indians that did not get put in the reservations, they were considered what? Colored. The white man, on the census, they viewed him as colored.
Yeah, for a long time it was either black or white.
That's right. So it was woolly haired men here when Columbus came. And guess what? A lot of them got put into slavery, right? So, but there was the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, they were. How did the Haitians get to Haiti? Slave ships. How did the Jamaicans, okay, and all the peoples in the West Indies, how did they get to those islands? They were brought on slave ships. Okay, so there was. The slave ship thing was real, but all of us did not come from. A lot of us was already here. But guess what? When we left Assyria, we came here. How did we get here to begin with? On a ship, even if we weren't brought. So guess what? When we got here on the ship, when Columbus came, did he take Indians back?